Hi, this is James Kendrick with jkOnTheRun.com, and I'm sorry I'm off camera, but today I wanted to give you a real brief video overview of the Fujitsu P1620 and why I am loving this device. I am so happy that I purchased this device to answer any questions anyone has. Having used it for a few weeks now, I am thrilled to use this device. And one of the great things that I do with it, I'm gonna show you today. Now I'm using this as my main tablet PC, so it goes with me every day to work. I take it to meetings and take notes. It's a great tablet PC. But what I wanted to show you today is some of the entertainment stuff that I'm really enjoying using this. Now, the way that you see the 1620 right now is how you will often see me using it around Mobile Tech Manor here. I may be sitting in front of the TV or sitting here. I'm sitting here in my study right now, but I can do this anywhere, and that's the beauty of it. I use the 1620 in slate mode. As you can see, I've got it rotated around. It's in slate mode. And what makes it so wonderful is the small form factor. You see, it's about the size of a smallish notepad, and it's very comfortable to handle, even with the extended battery that I'm using right here, which adds, I don't know, 0.3 pounds to it, but still the whole thing weighs about 2.5 pounds. And so you'll often see me sitting here using it. And what makes the Fujitsu so enjoyable to use, for one thing, is the fact that it is a touchscreen. As you can see, it does require using the fingertips, but I don't know if you can see the I'm touching the screen and the cursor's moving around on the desktop here, and that's how I use it. But let me show you some of the things that I'm really enjoying doing in my downtime, if you will, with the P1620. One of the things I do a lot, of course, is working on the web, browsing different websites and checking my web feeds. And for that I use Firefox, because I love Firefox. As you can see how quick it is. Now, one thing you may not be able to notice, I'll show you at the bottom here. I have currently 5 major, pretty resource hungry applications running right now, and I'm really pleased with the performance of the 1620 with the Core 2 Duo processor. Even though it's just 1.2 gigahertz, it's a Core 2 Duo, and I configured this with 2 gigs of memory, and I'm very pleased with how well this thing multitasks. And you'll see some of that as I switch between these applications today. But here's Firefox, my browser of choice, for some reasons I'm going to show you. This is jkOnTheRun, and as you can see, even with the great 1280 by 768 resolution screen, the site is a bit too wide to fit on one screen, one page, if you will. But that's no problem, because this is where the touchscreen really comes into play. I want to scroll. I'm using, you can't see it, but there's a little hand icon in the toolbar. It is the grab and drag extension for Firefox. It was actually written for tablet PCs, but it actually works on any computer with a mouse too. But it's really great here on the Fujitsu with the touchscreen. As you'll see, I want to scroll to the right. I use my fingertip. I can scroll, pan around. As you can see, I'm just doing it with my fingertip. I'm moving around here. And of course I can use the stylus if I want to as well, but I usually just use my fingertip. It's very easy to tap on things on the screen. Let's see, if I want to zoom into a particular article or go to another link, I just tap on the screen, and you have to tap it. You know, it's a kind of a harder touch digitizer than some people might be used to. But I'm more than willing to pay that price to be able to have the great inking experience in the tablet PC. So anyway, this is Firefox. So I do a lot of web browsing this way. I go around, let's say I want to do my RSS feed. So I just tap on my little menu bar I've got up there, and I go into Google Reader and I get to my feeds. It's loading them up now. These are all the feeds that have current items, and this is where the Fujitsu shines. There are these buttons right here on the bottom of the screen. I love having the page up, page down arrow buttons here. As you can see, I want to spin through my feeds here in Google Reader. I just tap the button, I'm going down, and Google Reader is automatically marking each item that I pass as read. And that's wonderful. So you see how easy this is. And what it means is I can do this in just a couple of minutes more often than I have on other computers in the past. And so since I can do this sitting in my chair in front of the TV at night or whatever, it's much easier for me to stay on top of all the thousands of feeds that I follow and not waste much time doing it, as you can see. Now let's see, I get in here and I see something, there's something of interest, let's say, that I want to save for later. I can just tap the add star link, and that I've now saved that, and I can come back in Google Reader later and see what it is. So this is really awesome. I really enjoy using this. I'm just reading my feeds now, but as you see how fast this is, it's really good, really fast. It works really well. So that's browsing with Firefox using the finger, and I can use my fingers here too. The touch screen is wonderful for that. See that? It's got the inertial scrolling. I'm going back through the feeds I just did. Let's stop that because I don't need to keep going, and just tapping it stopped it. So you see how that works. So minimize it. As you can see, I'm pretty much running it with my finger, tapping stuff. See how fast it works, which is nice. Now another thing that I really enjoy doing every day is reading the New York Times, and this device is wonderful for that. I use the New York Times reader. As you can see, it popped up real quickly, and this is today's paper, so I've got all of the current top articles in the New York Times at my fingertips, literally. Let's say I want to read a particular article, whatever it might be. All I have to do is tap it with my finger, and watch this. Boom, I've got the article. Page through it with the same arrow keys. See, I'm going through this particular article, which is a long one actually. Of course I get the ads, but that's okay. And then when I want to go back, I just tap the back arrow up here, which is kind of hard to do. It's kind of small on this little screen, but it still works very well. And as you can see, I can tap a different section, business section. Look how fast this is. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely awesome. And what I find is it duplicates the experience of reading the paper Times, although I don't get everything like you get in the paper version. But then again, this is delivered to me when I'm on demand. Here, let's go to the technology section up here. See how fast that was? We have a tech generation gap because of texting on cell phones. We do that, didn't we? And so that's, I'm sorry that I've got this tilted, but I actually want you to show how I use it. See how easy it is to carry and hold this over here on the left. The extended battery actually gives me a really good grip and makes it very comfortable to use. So that is the New York Times reader. See how fast that is again? I'll just show you again. Let's go back to the home page. I'm just tapping with my fingertip, and I'm not tapping. I don't have to tap it too hard, but I just have to make sure that I hit it just right. Now another thing that I really enjoy doing for entertainment is reading ebooks. As you know, I've written many times. I love e-reader, and the e-reader experience, I use it on all of my different devices, Windows Mobile, all of my computers. And I am loving reading books here on the Fujitsu. As you can see this, which you can't because you're too far away, but trust me, I can read this beautifully. I get the entire experience of reading what to me comes across as a paper book. It works very well. Turning pages, I can do two things. I have it configured if I tap the bottom of the screen, see, it page forward. Look how fast that is. Tap the top, it pages back to where we were. I want to set a bookmark on a page. I just tap the bookmark icon. I just turned it off, bookmark it. Boom, there we go. Or I can also use the page down arrow buttons. See how fast this is? This is absolutely beautiful. I love reading ebooks, and I'm doing it more and more on the Fujitsu than I was doing on my Windows mobile devices, because I get the full experience. I get a big page. It's just like reading a regular book to me. And then of course there's other stuff I can do, like if I want to look up a look up a word. I think I can do that here. I think this is the Pro version. Oh, look at that. See, it popped up a menu that said I highlighted that word and I say look up. Oh, please locate a reference. I haven't configured it here yet, sorry. But anyway, once I tell it what reference to use, which is typically a dictionary that I have here that comes with it, it'll look up any word that I'm not familiar with, and I can get it there. It's just a great thing, and of course you can take notes for yourself too. Navigate, you can say tap up here, go to chapter. You know what, let's don't go to chapter, but I go to any chapter directly. Let's go to the first page. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of spinning through the different stuff, but then I can easily go back to my bookmarks. Actually, let me find my bookmarks, go to my last one. Did you see how I'm running this with my fingertip? It is awesome, let me tell you. So that's reading ebooks with e-reader. It's a wonderful thing to do. And the last thing I want to show you, to keep this really relatively short, I like listening to music, and I use iTunes for my music player because I do podcasts and such. And now iTunes is not, the interface is not very well designed for touch, okay? But I can still do it, it's just a little harder. Typically what I'll do with iTunes is I'll pop out the stylus here, and I'll just use it if I need it. But you hear that, it's pretty loud. It actually is much louder than the 1610 was. So I can listen to stuff here. Let's show the visualizer, see how that works here in iTunes. There we go. But you see how the processors, oh, I wanted to turn off the visualizer. I did the wrong thing. Okay, sorry. Oops. I just turned it back on again. Sorry about that. Turn it off. How do you turn that off? I don't ever run that, quite frankly. Hide visualizer. There you go. But there I am listening to my music, which I have. How much music do I have in here now? Let's go back up here. I have my podcast too. Let's see. Let's listen to a podcast.
You're listening to Mobile Tech Roundup. Kevin Toffel,
James Kendrick, Matt Miller. If it's tech and it moves, it's mobile tech. Sorry about that. But that's iTunes. But you could see how much fun I have, how useful this is. And so with all of these additional entertainment stuff, in addition to all of the great work functions that it's serving for me, I'm using this thing all the time, and I'm getting over 5 hours per charge on the extended battery. Of course, I have 2 of them, so I can run 10 hours if need be. I usually don't have to run that long. So I usually will run one, and I can sit here in the evenings in front of the TV watching American Idol, for example, and just interact with this just all the time. It's pretty cool. I love the touch control, and you see how fast everything is happening. Now I can also, let me activate this window. I can also scroll with the fingerprint sensor reader. It's set up where it'll also function as a scroller, but quite frankly, I just usually use my finger. I mean, look at that. That's so much easier, and it goes so much faster and farther that it's just a lot easier, and I can get through here quickly. And so this is just a lot of fun. So anyway, this has been James Kendrick with jkOnTheRun.com with a quick overview of the Fujitsu P1620 touch screen tablet PC and all of the fun entertainment things that I can do. Oh, I should have showed you, I do Zenio. I read magazines on this too. Let me show you. Let's go into PC World. But I'll open it up. But you see how things, as a rule, happen pretty quickly. There I am in PC World, and I can run this by touch and zoom in. I can also turn pages with the arrow keys, which I'm doing down here. I mean, look at this, how fast this is. So I just wanted to show you Zenio real quick. I almost missed it because I follow a lot of my magazines that way. In fact, let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4 different magazines: Mac World, PC Magazine, PC World, and Smartphone and Pocket PC Magazine. So anyway, this has been James Kendrick. Again, jkOnTheRun.com. Entertainment overview of the Fujitsu P1620 touchscreen tablet PC. We'll be back really soon with more insights on this wonderful device, but rest assured, I get asked this a lot in comments and email from readers. I am absolutely loving that I bought this device, even though it was expensive compared to other tablet PCs out there, but look at that. I mean, how can you beat that form factor for mobility? So, thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back really soon. Thanks, everybody.